Welcome back to the channel. So with the holidays right around the corner, I thought it'd be a good time to share some gift ideas for, some retro gamers in your life or even just for yourself. Like who cares, right? So today we're going to be focusing on some hardware that brings back those classic gaming vibes from consoles to handhelds. Now I've reviewed most of this stuff on my channel before, so we'll be taking a look at some footage that I've done in the past for reviews and whatnot and rehashing some of my thoughts and opinions on these things. We'll be covering a mix of plug and play systems, cartridge based options, and even one that's just hitting the market. So let's take a look. A lot of these are some of my favorites. I've been using them a lot lately. So, first up, we got the Atari 2600 Pac-Man Edition console. So, this is a modern take on the classic Atari 2600, but with a cool little Pac-Man twist. It's decked out in that iconic yellow with glowing character icons on the front. Thought that was really neat. Comes with a matching wireless joystick that I haven't had too much of an issue with. I've actually been enjoying using it. Haven't had any problems playing Pac-Man going around those corners with it. Now, what I like with this console is the backwards compatibility with it. It plays original 2600 cartridges if you have them, but the biggest thing for me is that it plays 7800 cartridges. I never had a 7800, so that's been really cool. And Atari has a lot of new games that they've been releasing. So that is pretty awesome. And this bundle does come with the Pac-Man double feature cartridge that allows you to play that new Pac-Man game for the 7800 plus the original 2600 version. So I thought that was pretty sweet. It's pretty straightforward to set this thing up. Just plug it into your TV via HDMI. Pretty cool to just, start playing. Now, if you're gifting this, I think it's a solid entry into retro gaming for somebody who really loved Atari back in the day or wants to revisit playing some of those classic games. Maybe somebody who has an Atari, can't really set it up on a modern, TV. This is one way to go back and do it if they have cartridges or they just want to revisit it. So one of my favorites. I've been having a lot of fun with this, especially, like I said, with Atari releasing a lot of new cartridges lately for the 2600 and 7800. So next up, let's talk about the C64 Mini, specifically the Black Edition. So this is the latest version of the Commodore 64 Mini. Now it's in a little black design, which is one of the main differences, but the biggest difference is that it comes preloaded with 25 modern C64 inspired games, which focuses on titles from recent years that captures that 8-bit charm. So these are all newer games, not old games, they're newer games. The included joystick feels okay, though it is a bit on the clicky side. You can use other controllers if you want. You can connect it to any modern TV. In my review, I did appreciate how it emulates the original hardware with options to tweak the display for, different looks. It's perfect for someone who grew up with the C64 or just wants to explore its library without hunting down, original hardware and whatnot. It's easy to use. You can expand upon it, and it's reasonably priced, I think. And with all these new games that are on it, I thought it was a pretty neat refresh of the C64 Mini. So definitely one to take a look at. I've been enjoying messing with it. My first review of the C64 Mini, the original one that came out some years back, I said it was like Christmas for me because I never played the C64. And this one kind of brought that back out for me playing all these new games. So it was really cool. Now, moving on to handhelds. The Hyper Megatech Super Pocket, I think, is a cool little portable option at a reasonable price. So this little device, packs a punch with its built-in games, ready to go. And it has Evercade cartridge compatibility, which lets you expand your library easily and at an okay price point. These cartridges aren't crazy expensive. Now, I want to highlight a couple additions that they have here. They have quite a few versions out there, but a couple of my favorites are the Neo Geo one, which comes with 14 classics like Metal Slug X, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown. So a lot of arcade action on the go here. And then you have the Capcom one that has 12 hits, including Street Fighter, Final Fight, stuff like that. Both have a nice little screen, solid battery life, making them ideal to take with you on the go, traveling, whatever. Cool little device if you got a retro gamer on your list who loves fighters, run and guns. These editions are spot on for that. But like I said, there are a few different ones out there, and there's a lot of places you could buy these from, and you can expand on them with those Evercade cartridges. So, speaking of the Evercade, their systems deserve a spot on this list as well. So the Evercade VS for home use, which is their console, and the EXP for handheld play. So the VS is a console that hooks up to your TV, supports up to 4 players, while the EXP is more portable with a built-in screen. It's a handheld, obviously. Both run the same cartridges, which are officially licensed collection of games from publishers like Namco, Atari, and even indie developers. You get a lot of arcade stuff out there, new games, think curated sets like arcade compilations or platformer bundles. I've covered a lot of these cartridges in past videos, and they're a smart way to build a legal retro library without, having to set up emulation systems and whatnot. If that's something that means something to you, I think that's kind of cool. And the collectability. Now, the newer R models are even more affordable, so they do have budget options out there. If your person you're buying for enjoys collecting physical media, pair one of these systems with a cartridge or two for a complete setup. And there are still available the Tomb Raider bundles I've noticed on Amazon and whatnot. So options out there. Highly recommend the Evercade. I love these systems. So now for something a little bit newer, but still retro, and something I've been having a lot of fun with, the Mod Retro Chromatic. So this is a premium handheld. It's designed to play original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games with modern upgrades. This is what it's designed for. It's designed to just do one thing: Game Boy, Game Boy Color, right? It has a magnesium alloy body, and you have a couple options, either sapphire glass screen or Gorilla Glass, and it's super durable either way. Got a pixel perfect IPS display that mimics the original without any scaling issues. In my hands on, it felt incredibly well built, responsive buttons, long battery life. And it's not just emulation, it's hardware, level simulation. So it's FPGA, so it runs all your old cartridges flawlessly from my experience. It's great for collectors or people who just want to revisit their childhood games and something that's going to last. I really think this is a adorable little handheld. This one definitely recommended for anybody who loves Game Boy or had a Game Boy back in the day. Every single chromatic comes with Tetris, brand new version of Tetris. That's a lot of fun. So, know somebody who loved Game Boy, got a Game Boy back in the day that came with Tetris? Can buy him a chromatic, comes with Tetris. Kind of relive those memories, right? So, finally, I want to mention a product that's releasing right around the corner, probably around now. And I should be getting one for review soon, or at least that's what I've been told. And I think this one looks neat, but we'll see. That is the Intellivision Sprint. So this is Atari's revival of the classic Intellivision console, keeping that original disc controller, wood grain aesthetic. Comes preloaded with a bunch of built-in games from the Intellivision library, like Astro Smash, Night Stalker, stuff like that. It's HDMI ready for modern TVs. So, like I said, I'll be having a review coming up, hopefully. Haven't used one yet, but from what I've seen, looks pretty cool. Has some quality of life improvements. Shipping starting soon, so if you order one, should be able to get it in time for Christmas, time for the holidays. So keep an eye out. Should be having a review coming pretty soon, I hope. But yeah, there you have it. 6 solid ideas, gift ideas for retro gamers this holiday season. Just wanted to cover this stuff as I didn't do any Black Friday videos this year. Just, I don't know, just wasn't the vibe, I guess. Wasn't much going on out there, but did have some ideas for things that I've been enjoying quite a bit. And we do a lot of retro content here. So a lot of stuff to pick from. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas and everything. Bye.